welcome to BattleHawk Live. You would think, Will, we changed the name of the show. We're not really XFL STL anymore. Talk show, right?
Correct.
Because we got a team name now.
Yep.
The BattleHawks.
Yes, and this is now BattleHawk Live.
Right, you got to take the S off.
Yeah.
What's up, Al? What's up, Al? I am Dirty. Sitting right over there is the one, the only, our main man, the correspondent himself.
I am Will Freeman.
And what you guys can't see is the guy sitting next to me is Cameron. I met Cameron. Well, actually, Cameron, get over there where Arlington would be, and let's talk about how you came on, how you're going to come on board with us here. Okay? All right, pull that mic close to you. This is Cameron, ladies and gentlemen.
How's it going, guys?
Cameron, welcome.
Going good.
Thank you.
So now, Cameron, we met at the, we had the happy hour.
Yeah.
This weekend. Or no, Monday. It was my birthday. Well, I'm 43 years old. I am an old fart.
You did not tell me you were that old.
Yes, I am.
I
that
turn
old.
32 next month, so.
You're a baby, Will. You're a baby. And Cameron, let's not talk about how old you are because you look like a baby. But anyways, you were talking to Kurt.
Right.
Talking about wanting to get into the video and all that. And I just happened over here. I'm like, and I waited for you to get done. I'm like, hey, I have something for you.
Right. I mean, it's a good thing you approached me when you did.
It's like, I have an idea for you.
Yeah.
So tell people what you went to school for.
So my degree is in sports broadcasting and journalism.
Right.
Specifically, it was performance, so like being in front of the camera, doing reporting, that kind of thing.
Right.
And then I got a job with our school football team that allowed me to travel with them and film their stuff.
Right.
So that kind of got me into more, video editing and producing and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So when I graduated, I decided I wanted to do more production type work and started working like editing videos and just getting footage to play around with and that kind of thing.
Right. Now, Will, you've seen some of the comments. Some of these people get on here and they want to bash me, saying you need to do some better editing and audio, right?
Yeah, I have seen that time to time.
Which I don't really care. So that's where he comes in, and that's where he's going to help us. And there's a big project coming up for One Universal Production that Cameron's actually also going to help us on. We're not going to talk about that, though.
Oh, it's classified information?
Yeah,
right
it's
now?
classified right now.
I told my mom. Is that okay?
But that's okay, dude.
Okay.
That's okay. So Cameron's going to be helping us out doing like a lot of the videoing and editing and stuff. Like when we're out and stuff like that, he'll be up at the studio sometimes helping out with a lot of this stuff.
That's good.
So there you go. So now, what got you now? Okay, so I was here when the Rams came the first time. And my firstborn son's initials are literally Rams. Okay, so I was a huge Rams fan. The Rams left.
Yeah, so was I.
Right. Now, were you a Rams fan?
So I'm actually a Packers fan.
Okay,
And
that's okay.
No problem with that.
Aaron Rodgers is great. I love Aaron Rodgers.
Well, no, see, like, here's the thing. I became a Packers fan when I was 6. And so Aaron
No,
Rodgers...
Arlington, you're not being replaced. Thank you, Keelan.
So Aaron Rodgers didn't even play for the team at the time, right?
Right,
And,
yeah.
I'm a big nerd, so I play a ton of video games. And I had Madden 99 for the Nintendo 64.
Was that the version with Michael Vick on it?
No, that was a little bit later. 99. I'm trying to remember who was on the cover of 99. That was before Falk. That was before. I don't know. I remember mostly from the early 2000s and all, not in the late 90s. I don't. That was when you had Madden,
remember.
Game Day,
Right,
NFL 2K, all those.
I can't remember.
It wasn't a monopoly, just Madden like it is today.
Right, yeah. Okay, so go on.
So my last name's Freeman.
Okay.
And I was just playing, and I was just playing with random teams, and I found this green and yellow team, and they had a wide receiver who had the same last name as me, Antonio Freeman. So I was like, I'll just root for this team. They have my older brother.
Hold on. Stop the clock. Michael Vick was 2004. Thank you. Keelan, we're going to get to that in a minute. Wait, so the only reason why you root for the Packers,
The original reason
why you root for the Packers is because your last name is Freeman, and Antonio Freeman was on the video game.
The first Packers jersey that I ever owned was an Antonio Freeman jersey. And then I got a custom jersey with my name on it.
I mean, hey.
If you haven't noticed, I'm a Freeman as well, but that wasn't the reason I became a Rams fan. But
hey, I mean, however it works.
Yeah.
So now we got the BattleHawks.
Right.
So we know how you feel
Mm-hmm.
about it. What is your? How do you feel?
the biggest thing is I just want to see a product that's more watchable.
Right.
Mhm.
NFL, it's kickoff, commercial break, 4 and out, commercial break. Give me something that's okay. The entire series went for 4 minutes. You know, it was a quick drive down the field
Right.
or whatever. They scored one commercial break of what, 1 minute?
Yeah, it's 60.
Or more, depending on what type of.
Yeah, depending on where you're at.
Right. You know.
Right. Yeah.
But shortened commercial breaks and then get back to the action.
Right. Yeah.
Because everyone hates when it's a crucial situation like a 2-minute drive or a 2-minute drill, and it's timeout after timeout after
Right.
timeout.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just kills the momentum for
miserable.
everybody. So
Miserable. You're right.
Hopefully-
It is.
just something more watchable.
Right. Now, Will, you got something interesting.
Yes. Right before I came here, I actually saw on Twitter by Michael J. Wynn, who's actually a pretty good source for XFL. According to he talked to someone with the league, and right now for ticket sales, St. Louis is number 1.
Correct.
Seattle's number 2. Houston's actually beating Dallas in the sales, and the 2 teams that are behind, as he said, is DC and Tampa. And merchandise, St. Louis is number 1 as well, but it's like double the sales
Right.
of the team that's in second place. I don't know who second place is though.
I want to say it was
I'm assuming it's probably either Dallas or Houston, maybe Seattle because they were second in
right.
sales.
Well, Seattle did have at their meet and greet. They did have
And
Marshawn Lynch.
their president has done kind of a few few things on their social media. They're actually going out to their season ticket holders in
Hey,
person and posting it on
Don't
social.
be bashing our. Don't be bashing
Oh
our
no.
president.
Each president's doing their own thing.
Kurt's the best president.
Oh, he is.
See, that's
He-
nice too. I feel
he-
like they're letting the owners, or
The
not
presidents?
the presidents have a
Right,
little
yeah.
bit more freedom in the community.
For example, he's taking any ideas from the fans as possible. Like, for example, this Sunday, the actual Wordbird Sanctuary actually tweeted out to the BattleHawks that one of their hawks in that sanctuary could actually be the animal mascot for the team.
Yeah, and I know that Kurt had tweeted that, and he said there are talks that it possibly could happen, but it's not a 100%. Because the one thing Kurt said is, like, we were talking to him, and the good thing about Kurt is you can go to these things, and you can give them all of your ideas that you want. Like we did the poll 2 weeks ago about what should we call the dome? Is it the Hawk Nest or the Battle Dome? Hawk's Nest won. So that's what the fans were wanting. They're like, hey, let's name the dome the Hawk's Nest it's the Hawk's Nest at the America Center.
And of course, there's a little bit of discussion if, like, the chance of caca. I have no problem with it myself. I'm just saying, because the newest thing about we have a homegrown team here is that we're creating stuff. The caca thing might stick.
We get to pick.
Yes, we don't have to take any traditions from somewhere else that's moved here.
Exactly.
We create our own.
You're
like
absolutely
how
right.
Hans Zucker put it is, we're making our own book.
Right, yeah, exactly. And there was a lot of stuff that was really interesting on what they said, because the turnout, this was the second one? The second happy hour?
This my second happy hour, I think third meet and greet, if you count the one before the team announcement and the team announced itself at Urban Chestnut.
Right. So yeah, this is the second one. And the turnout was ridiculous there.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, you were there. What would you say? At least 100, 150, 200?
I would say close to 200 almost.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy.
It was
I
packed.
would say, because on that same day, LA had their own, and I would probably say we had a lot more.
Well, LA's stupid. I hate LA.
Oh, just to put a little bit more smack, LA's Twitter follower hasn't even break 10,000. They're
Right.
not
You
even-
know why? Because they're bums. No.
No, it takes.
Can't say that. I gotta be.
I would
nice.
say with the LA market, it takes a little bit to have an eye on them, though. They don't really cheer for the Chargers, even though
Right,
they're
yeah,
there and
exactly.
they're winning.
So
Exactly.
I do have a stupid question.
Okay, go ahead.
Figuring we're in St. Louis, right?
Mhm.
And like you said,
Mhm.
we're homegrown, so we can do everything our way.
Right.
Will they sell toasted ravioli at the concession stand?
That's a very good. That depends, because last time when I was at the Dome, I think toasted ravioli was served at certain levels. I don't think it's all around the concessions, but we don't know what they're going to serve for concessions. We don't know what the prices are yet. So it's possible they're probably going to get some probably local delicacies, probably, I would think. But we would have to see.
Yeah, you're right. The Wildcatters. It's funny that you talk about the stuff that they're going to sell. Read the tweet that just came out about the possible seating and how they're going to do that. The one that you just, what was the one tweet you just had me read?
That was the one about the things I was talking about, the ticket sales and the merch sales.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
if you're talking about the premium seating, there was something that they were doing. The XFL was going to do some premium sideline seating.
Right. That's what it was.
That I forgot what the company name was that they were going to sell some sideline premium seats. Like, I'm a season ticket deposit holder right now, and pretty soon I'm thinking hopefully a week or two we'll find out what the prices are, and hopefully they do that. We will go to the Dome and pick our seats one by one. I'm hoping they do that. I know that when San Antonio had their AF team, the Commanders, they did that at their Dome Stadium.
Correct.
And,
you're absolutely right.
And we get the price points. I know that season tickets do get special benefits. They get discount on merchandise. They're invited to specific team events. So, and just a reminder, for a season ticket deposit price is $50 per ticket right now.
Right.
You could get it on the XFL BattleHawk website or on Ticketmaster.
Right, yeah. And as you guys see right up there, you guys could go to Facebook and YouTube. Like us on YouTube at One Universal Production, and on Facebook, XFL STL. You guys could call in at 314-920-3736. Arlington should be joining us. He's running late. I did talk to him, and he had something. The one thing I want to talk about is our boy, Jeremiah Spicer.
Yeah.
They sent out
another round of invitations. I updated him with my next round of, so far that we know of, that have been invited for the XFL draft pool.
Right.
And these are only people that have broadcasted on social media. There could be some that have not basically broadcasted yet.
Yep.
And so far, it's about 160 players as of today.
Correct. Which is cool, because to see Jeremiah, and I don't, Cameron, I don't know if you see Jeremiah's story.
I have not.
But just go to XFL.com. His story's all over there. And, well, here we go. Timothy John says he's heading to St. Louis in March for a home game, doing Washington and New York. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you, Tim. Okay, buddy, here's what I'm going to tell you. You come in, depending on when you come in. If it's on a Wednesday, we'll have you come up to the studio. You can wear your New York Guardian gear, whatever it is you want, and we'll let you join us on the studio. Does that sound good, Will?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Does that sound good, Cameron?
I guess I'm okay with it.
Right. Okay. So, Cameron, since you're the new guy,
okay,
right? Keelan is wanting to know about there's the happy hour over there in Edwardsville.
Next
the Hot Shots.
Next Monday, I believe.
Next Monday. He's asking if we're going to be there. I can't get off work in time to get over there because I have to broadcast.
And I will not be able to go there.
Arlington has to work. So guess who's stuck going? And guess who's stuck recording some stuff?
That's fine by me.
There you go.
The only problem that we have on Monday is Monday morning through like light afternoon. I'm helping my buddy move his fish tank.
Okay.
So that might conflict.
What's at 5:30?
No, we should be fine.
Right. Yeah.
5:30 to 7, I think.
Right. 5:30 to 7.
At the very longest, it'll take us like 3 hours, and that's catching all the fish, putting all the water back in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then with summer coming around, I mean, they've been at football games. What football games have they been at?
I am trying to remember. I think there was one in East St. Louis, and they were actually at the Mizzou game this last weekend in Columbia.
Yeah, right. So I mean, they're all over.
Yeah, and I did see someone that commented that so far
Is that you or me?
That's me.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
So far, our new football team, the BattleHawks, in his opinion, have done more community output than the Rams did before they left.
Oh,
in
100%.
That they're going to these high schools, they're going into the community, and that was one of the things that Coach Hay said in his press conference, to get more into the community.
Correct.
The only thing that I remember when the community with the Rams were here, it was more the players, not the team organization.
Right.
The only thing that they did organization-wise was build that one playground somewhere. I can't remember.
I can't even remember.
And that was for the front office people, but that's all I remember them doing.
Well, now here's Scott Anthony says right here. Let me get down to it. Well, thank you for having the BattleHawk shirt, Timothy Tim. But look, we'll let you come in. We'll let you wear your New York stuff, right, Will?
Not a problem.
Right, Cameron?
Oh yeah.
Right, Arlington? We'll let you wear your New York stuff. Just realize this. We're going 10-0, and we're going to beat you. Now, Scott Anthony says this. I think they should partner up with the local high schools and offer free tickets to the kids for making the honor roll. What do you think of that, Will? What do you?
It's not a bad idea. Like Hunzucker said, like he's taking ideas as they can, and that could be one thing that they could do. Though I'm trying to think what the best way to say this here.
You don't want to limit your audience.
Yeah, you don't.
Correct.
And not that you're limiting it to just smart kids or the kids who try in
Right.
school.
Because they're trying to attract all sorts of people in all sorts of classes in order to go to the games.
Timothy Tim says, can you believe the betting odds are LA versus New York? Of course they are, because those are the two big teams. That's why. But it's not going to happen. It's going to be St. Louis. I mean, I like the idea, and I agree with you guys that you're saying you really can't limit your audience. But at the same time, let's look at the idea of what, I mean, when I was in school, it was way before you guys were. We didn't really have that stuff. But like when you guys were, they had the honor roll thing. You read so many books, you got a free ticket to Six Flags, stuff like that. I think that would be a great idea. Hey, if you read this many books,
Free tickets to a game.
you get free tickets to a game.
Mm-hmm.
Or, and then like for prime example, the honor roll kids, let them come down onto the field 30 minutes before the game and watch the warm-ups.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a good way for kids, a good incentive for kids to get honor roll. It's stuff like that. But then again, for those other kids who might not be as smart, might not be as smart, you have them do, hey, read 300 pages and you get free tickets to the game.
Yeah.
They're
probably, I know that probably, this is just a guess, all teams are probably going to have some like sweepstakes or type of contest to get free tickets. That's what I'm assuming, because about every sports organization, team, and league does something like that.
Right, yeah.
So there's going to be some opportunity to get free tickets, maybe free season tickets. I know there's some organizations that do that, so we'll see. I don't know if the XFL will do that their first year. But.
Right. So now let's get back to Spicer, because I was
All right.
reading the comments, because I want to get back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah's been a huge supporter of our show since we started this. Will, from what you've seen of him and what you've seen him do, where do you think he's going to get drafted? What team do you think is going to draft
Well,
him?
let's see. As of right now, with the stories coming to the drafts, is that number one is probably who's the tier one quarterback. Second is probably Jeremiah Spicer's story.
Right.
So it usually depends. Like, I'm trying to remember, because I've mostly seen his indoor film. So I'm not too sure if he usually plays in his college days, if it was a 4-3 or 3-4, because that probably depends on what head coach wants his defensive formation at.
Right.
So since the tier one quarterbacks have apparently one thing that was meant, like, apparently out of all the coaches, Coach June Jones of Hughes has the loosest lips out of all of them.
Oh, yeah, he has.
Basically spilled out when the team names were coming now. He was saying he announced that there would be a quarterback draft like the XFL might do that the AAF had previously. So,
Right.
and then, if I would think, he probably would be early rounds. It's hard to predict, because I'm assuming offensive players are mostly going to be the first round.
Right. So here's what I'm thinking, because, we're doing the tier one quarterback. So that means 8 teams are automatically getting a quarterback.
And so far, Landry Jones has so far won the first out of the 8 when it comes to that.
Well, and then you got Ryan Mallett.
Well,
Now,
yeah.
look, hold on. Let's really talk about this.
Yeah.
The dude got an DWI, right?
Yes, I think.
it's unfortunate,
Mhm.
but is it really going to stop him from playing football?
I think when Vince McMahon said about no players with felony, if it was more felonies than misdemeanors,
Right.
it's not like, for example, when I said when Travion Boykin, the former TCU quarterback who was in the showcase for Dallas, but then a few weeks later, he got in trouble for stealing some property from a family member and something for the report, like he jumped out of a window. But
Right.
I can't remember the whole deal. It's nothing like. Let's be clear, drinking while driving is bad, really bad.
Well, yeah, we're not condoning drinking and driving
I'm just saying, like
on the BattleHawk Live.
Yeah. So I think the league will have a talk with him and see if he's already got a draft invite.
Right.
So we'll see what the league says and happens.
So here's how I'm looking at it. So the first 8 quarterbacks are going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the actual first round of drafts are going to be running backs
And wide
and
receivers.
wide receivers. That's just these are just my opinions. These do not reflect anything that
I would not be surprised if a left
heard.
tackle.
Well, yeah, like in offensive players. I'm saying
Yeah.
all offensive players for the first couple rounds.
Unless there's like a standout defensive guy. You know, he'd
Exactly,
probably
which,
go
I
late
mean,
first.
Jeremiah can be one of those standout guys.
And probably another person that has a story is Sean Oakman that recently got his invite a few weeks ago. And
Well, that's funny that you say that because Scott Anthony just says, I would like to see either Sean Oakman or Corey Vegan signed by St. Louis for DN. I'm okay with that. Okay with that. 100%.
I'm fine with it too, and I would not be surprised if our D coordinator is looking at the D linemen that are available, because he, besides being the D coordinator, he's the D line coach.
Right. And I'm saying this. Our first player that we're drafting is going to be a running back. That's just my opinion. Again, my opinion. Doesn't mean we know anything. It's just my opinion. That's just what I think. I think it's going to be a running back because, you know, when we talked to John from a football world and all of that stuff, you know, he said with the way Coach Hayes played football, you know, having the 2 wides, tight end, 2 deep runs, that our team's going to be mainly a running team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying I'm thinking we're going to draft a running back as our first pick.
And there's a pretty good amount of them, and heck, one got an invite just yesterday was T.J. Scott from Michigan State, and he's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where Trent Richardson goes.
See, and then if that's the thing is, John said he thinks that Trent Richardson would likely end up, and that's John from a Football World Discussion. Go check their page out. See, you're right, Zach Stacy might, but that would be good to have Zach Stacy because Zach Stacy was part of the Rams. But I would love to have Zach Stacy here just because he was part of the
I know,
Rams.
and then there's also another former Rams running back that was in part of the showcase, and that was Darrell Richardson from Christian Abilene.
Yep.
Then he was in he participated in one of the showcases earlier this year.
Right. Well,
So-
there's Al saying L.J. Scott. I would be okay with that.
Mhm. And I would not be surprised if Coach Hayes might look at another Michigan State player for quarterback Connor Cook.
Right.
So
Exactly.
Connor Cook was with the Bengals when he was there, so he knows him. And then I saw one article from our buddy Stefan on XFL Newsroom that someone wrote that maybe A.J. McCarron might be a possibility since he
Now,
played.
see, I still think A.J. McCarron can play.
Yeah.
Football. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And I would be okay with it. Now, fantasy, I want Jeremiah Spicer on the St. Louis
Of
BattleHawks.
course.
That's just
For-
I'm rooting for the kid.
Either for our team specifically, Jeremiah Spicer or Eric Beazle, because he's a local guy.
Right, yeah.
And local guy here, Mizzou guy, and he definitely would get a lot of fan support here.
Right.
I
What is
agree
the
with
odds
your
of
opinion.
Brock Osweiler?
Ooh.
You know, to be honest, well, hold on, Scott Anthony. That's the thing is, you don't know if Trent Richardson has not
Yeah,
got his invite
Scott,
yet.
the players that I have on my list are actually that have been promoted on their social medias that they got an invite.
Right.
That doesn't mean he hasn't got one. He just hasn't said that he got one.
Correct.
Announced it publicly. There's probably a good amount of players that have kept it privately.
Right. Exactly. Because you got to figure they probably already signed their 8 quarterbacks.
Yes, like, for example, the one that Stefan got taken down because Brandon Silvers reportedly signed one, and that was taken down pretty
Right.
quickly.
Exactly. So, I mean, now Brock, I wouldn't mind seeing Brock in the XFL. I mean, but being a 6'8" quarterback, the throwing motion that a 6'8" quarterback has, It's
Though
kind of hard.
I would say I probably prefer Brock over Paxton in my humble opinion.
All right, so there goes Alice, who says that Alice says that AJ is a backup for Texas right now.
Ah, man.
The way.
Yeah, and unfortunately, another guy that was looking for in XFL was Cardell Jones. He signed on the practice squad for Seattle, so
That still doesn't mean he can't get picked up, though.
and that is true because practice squad spots are not guaranteed. You can get cut from those at any moment like that.
Right. Yeah. So now, and then some of the things that because Kurt said, please bring your ideas. So David Bennett of a Football World Discussion, he brought some ideas, which I thought were really cool.
Yes.
So one of the ideas that he brought was having having one of our local places around here name a chicken sandwich after the BattleHawks.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a cool idea.
Yeah, his suggestion was naming Chicken Hawk out when I felt like, okay, I like the Looney Tunes.
Right.
What about Firehawk? Like a spicy chicken sandwich?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can use that if that's branded or anything. But
Firehawk. The BattleHawk.
the St. Louis Firehawk?
Yeah.
I know a Firebird's trademark. I'm not sure about Firehawk.
That'd be kind of good. That would be kind of good, right? Paxton Lynch is a good one. Another thing that I liked was the idea of, oh my God, he had so many of them. Was the I know a lot of people didn't like it, but with St. Louis having that connection with the rap with Nelly and all that,
Mm-hmm.
I thought the idea of having a rap battle
That would be kind of cool.
at the games.
That's an idea. There's a lot of things they could do musically because
Right.
I know probably there's some people that would like to see the Urge perform at some point at the game.
See, that would be cool.
And then, of course, there was one thing I heard that Hunziker probably got an idea from because he was also at the St. Ludigans, the St. Louis the soccer team that's playing at Soccer Park now,
Right.
of a marching band idea that I saw, like doing a thing from, I forgot what.
No,
not that one?
Nope.
Gotcha.
No, not that one.
All
I
right.
know Kurt talked about having like
No.
local high schools.
No, not that either.
No?
Nope.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Mm-mm.
Flying off my mind.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
That's all just myth.
Okay.
It's all myth. None of that. See, somebody right here said Nelly could perform. What are our thoughts on Zach Mettenberger?
Let's see. Depends how, because he did get injured.
It depends on how his back is.
Yeah.
Now, Tyree Jackson, I would love that.
I know he did get cut, but I can't remember if he got resigned yet or not.
I would love Tyree Jackson. Hey, if we're doing fantasy, Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
the way he played this weekend, I would love to see him.
I would not be surprised if most of the quarterbacks are tier one have a good mobility with running and throwing.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, he had a lot of ideas, like with the whole tailgating thing. He
Mhm.
was trying to figure out good spots for the tailgating.
There's quite a few. I know there was one that was where, right near the parking lot, there was that one area where all RVs or
Well, the best parking lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking, hey, can we take the best parking lot back over?
and then there was also an area behind the dome. I remember there was someone brought this big thing that was, I think it was about 30 yards. It was like a whole grill, and you can get beer.
Cody Kessler, another good idea. I like that one.
I think he did get signed, if I
Right.
remember correctly.
But hey, you know what this show is? This is the BattleHawks Live right here on XFL STL on Facebook and One Universal Productions. That's where you guys can find us. You guys see the phone number up there, 314-920-3726. 36. It's a new phone number. I forgot it. He's scrolling. Just watch it right there. You guys
That's
see it.
one thing we'll change. We'll make it so you just read the number.
Yeah, it's right there. Read the number. I am Dirty. Sitting right over there is the one, the only, our correspondent, the man who's been on board with us since, what, like week 3 since we started the show?
I think a little bit more further, but yeah, pretty early.
Right. The one, the only, Will Freeman, is sitting right over there. The man you'll get to meet, Keelan, next Monday. The newest member, our producer, video man extraordinaire. We're going to see how he is, Will, before we decide if we're going to keep him on. Right, Will?
Yeah, it's a trial run.
Right, yeah. Cameron. So, And make sure you go check out all of our sponsors on everything. You can also find this show on In the Zone Network page. You can find it on Alliance, the XFL page. You can find it on One Nation Network TV page. You can find us everywhere. Go check it out. Check out our great sponsors. Unicorn Pros with Kylie. South Broadway Athletic Club is one of our sponsors. And then our own sponsors, the BattleHawk Studio here at the Library. We're still trying to find a name for it, but nobody wants to sponsor us yet. That's a hint if anybody knows. So here's somebody says, let's use the Cardinals. Let's use the Cardinals are in charge song and charge into the BattleHawks are in charge.
That's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. You want to watch it? Because he put a link for us that we can watch. Cameron, you want to see how you do that?
Sure.
Come over here and I'll show you how to do it. Watch this. So we're going to... Will, you want to watch it? Will, how did you do that, man?
Do what?
How did you let this creepy guy swoop into the studio? What is wrong with you?
I was blocked.
Is that what it was? Is that what it was?
That or you didn't give me a signal to go try to get him.
Is that what it was? Will, he's a scary dude, man. You see him sitting over there? Huh? Right here. For some reason, let me pause it real quick. Why is it not working? Will, this is what I love about live. It's half the time this stuff doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't work, and that's what pisses me off. But I'll just do this. This will work now. I know what you meant. I'm an idiot. That's why I read it that way. Don't get all mad, Al. Just calm down. We still love you. But no, it's getting interesting. You do realize there's only 23 more weeks left.
It's getting faster and faster.
Of the XFL, right? You do realize that, right, Will?
Mm-hmm.
23 more weeks, and then the good stuff comes. So here we go, Will. You ready? You want to listen to it?
Sure.
This is Billy Stacy of the St. Louis Football Cardinals, and the Cardinals are charging.
Now, listen. I don't know about that. What do you think, Will?
They could use some sort of variation of it, but
Right?
they can create their own.
I mean, it would be cool. Don't get me wrong.
It's nice that if they make their own type of fights on like colleges and all that stuff, but it's still a work in progress. Everything right now is a work in progress.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's all fired up, aren't they, Will, over Cacao? I love it, though.
Oh, you have no idea.
Arlington says, I told you Arlington says nice hat, nice
Yep.
shirt. I do love it. See, it goes, that's better. It's very old school. I mean, it's cool. It's cool.
Maybe have a mixture of old school and new school might not be a bad idea.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Now, I mean, we're just right around the corner. Okay, so what's this one? What did Allison hear? Should we watch this one?
Let's see what this.
Oh, it's the same one.
Yeah.
Al, I just played that one. You're killing me, Al. You're killing me. Killing me, Smalls. He goes, he loves it. And it's cool. There's Christopher Thomas with his cacao. Al, I said it's cool, man. I said it's cool. I just want something a little more new school. Like, I said to Kurt, I'm like, hey, look. I was like, you should change the dome. You should position to change the dome to the BattleHawks or the Hawks Nest. And then we call the end zone like the battle zone or like the flight deck or something like that.
I'm interested to see because they still have the turf, what the design is for the field once the game starts.
Well, that's a good question too, because somebody asked us just recently, what field condition is the dome in?
As far as I know, the turf is the turf that the Rams used, and then it was used for Isaac Bruce's chair thing once, and I was actually there afterwards. That is still in good condition.
Right.
It's just now what the heck is the design? And then I'm wondering with the XFL how they're going to do some more advertising for at the Dome. They could have something similar, like how they have at the MLS and soccer games, those boards on the field. I don't know if they're going to do that or not.
Right.
So, or have what type of sponsoring near on the field or near the field or all that type of stuff. But the question is, what are the end zones going to look like? They're probably going to be like what I'm wearing, the royal blue that they're having or whatever type of. And then with the logo, like I did hear something about.
See, I want that logo right on the 50-yard line.
That doesn't surprise me.
And big. I want it right on the 50-yard line.
And then one side you have what's on my head here. Then on the other side you see if people don't know, you turn it upside down and you see an STL.
Yep.
So,
now, see, that would be cool to do it in the end zone. Do one side that looks like our logo, and then the other side be upside down. So, like when you're sitting in the stands, you'll see the logo normal, and then on the other side, you'll see the name. You'll see it upside down. Okay, so here's somebody, Sammy Sharp. Okay, see, this is why I need Arlington.
Okay.
Here, Will, you see, we got somebody on here blasting the name. So you know what that means, right, Will? That means I'm going to go on a dirty rant.
Oh no.
Right? Right? Now, so let me show you what they said. Here's what they said. They said the BattleHawks name is weak.
I don't get it.
I don't either. But Sammy, I appreciate you tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But here's the problem. I don't know where you're from. I don't know what team you're rooting for. But guess what? We're going to kick your ass. That's all there is to it, right, Will?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Caller, you are live. Go ahead.
What's happening, man? My name's T-Dog, a.k.a. Sex City, A-Train, and Legend Kill. Both know me from being a huge Rams fan.
Okay.
Whoever called in and said that we need to use Big Red's fight song, look, it didn't work. Like the whole thing. If we're going to start a franchise in St. Louis and expect people to follow it and expect people to build on it, it has to be ground up.
Mm-hmm.
That means no nostalgia. That means it has to be everything from new.
Right, I agree.
I don't know. I don't know how everybody else thinks about that. And excuse me for saying this. I know it's a podcast or whatever, but the logo sucks.
Oh, come on.
The name
Stop. Hold on,
sucks.
T-Dog. Stop.
The name sucks.
Hold on. Listen, here's what's going to happen. If you keep talking crazy, I'm going to turn you down, and then I'm going to have to blast you while you're sitting on the phone listening to me, and you won't be able to talk, okay? So just calm down.
You're going to blast me and I won't be able to talk.
Right, yeah, because we won't be able to hear you because I'll turn you down. So now just hold on. Hold on. Okay. Explain why the logo sucks.
For one, it's plain Jane. I mean, it's like I got 8-year-old nephews that can draw logos like that.
Okay.
Now, granted, being a Rams fan, the Rams fan is plain Jane also. Or the Rams logo is plain Jane also.
So you just proved your point. The Rams logo was terrible.
But the Rams logo, the horns on the helmet, was the very first logo ever on a helmet.
I know, and it was terrible.
No, it's awesome.
No, the Rams
it's still awesome because I'm still a Rams fan, and I reside in St. Louis.
Hell, my oldest son, he's a Rams fan. He was named after the Rams. He's still a Rams fan. I mean, but the Rams uniforms were ugly. Always been ugly.
Never. Those royal and yellow uniforms were amazing.
Oh my God, you want to make me puke?
You would still love those uniforms if the Rams were here today.
No, because
everyone would. Everyone would.
Hated them then.
The royal and yellow?
Yes, always.
Not the navy and gold. The royal and yellow.
Yes, always hated it. I always thought it looked like the 1970s
now,
stuff.
With that being said, okay. I do believe I'm going to look into season tickets.
Okay.
I also believe. Yeah, I do believe
right.
I'm going to look into season tickets. I'm fighting against myself here with the season ticket thing.
Okay, so here, let me explain something to you. Here's what I do know. To reserve a season ticket, it's $50, right? It's $50 to reserve your season tickets. The average price, that's the way it's looking at, is because they're not going to use the upper bowl. They've already said that they're not going to use the upper bowl. So that's counted out. So they're going to use the 2 lower decks of the dome, right? So around the field, they're talking between $50 to $100, depending where you're at on the field. The next step up, they're talking $35 to $40 a pop
per game. Now, I was a Rams season ticket holder when they were here.
Yeah.
I paid $600 a year for 2 season tickets. We sat in section 326 row QQ.
How much did you pay for your PSL?
I didn't have a PSL.
Well, how is that possible?
I went to a Rams draft party at Dave & Buster's in 2014.
Okay.
And I filled out a survey card, and I got a call from one of the Rams brass to ask me if I was interested in season tickets.
Okay.
I said, "You damn right, I'm interested in season tickets,
right,
but
so
I cannot
tickets
afford.
Cost you
I cannot
$600.
afford season tickets." He
Right.
said, "What if I told you that you could pay $300 per seat per season, and I would give it to you on a payment plan?"
All right, so here. Again, here's where I'm going to prove you wrong. So let's say season tickets are $30, right? So you get 2 of them, right? So that's $60,
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
There's 5 home games, correct?
Okay.
How much you think that is?
So $30 times 5. What do you mean? $150.
Right. So you get 2 season tickets for $300, and you paid $600 for a team that didn't even care about you.
You are
See what I'm
correct.
saying?
Well, the team cared about St. Louis. The owner did not, and that's where the conundrum comes in with the St. Louis Rams.
Oh, I agree with you on that one. I agree with
The
you on that.
team cared. I mean, do you remember when Brian Quick and them boys walked out with the hands up, don't shoot?
Yeah.
That turned a lot of people off to the St. Louis Rams.
I was there
To
at
me, to me, and with all the work they did around the community, it let me know how much they actually cared for the city of St. Louis.
that game. Right.
The team, not the owner.
Yeah, I was there.
The owner walked away from us. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
But
Here's what everybody in St. Louis misses. And again, this is where I'm going to prove you wrong. Okay? Let me ask you a question. You're a business dude, right? Okay.
No, I'm a construction dude.
Okay, but hold on.
I build things.
Listen, you're a business guy, right? You're a business dude.
Okay,
You have an $800 million franchise, correct?
correct.
Because this is where I got Cameron at, because he felt the same way you did. And I was like,
And you
hold on.
can double it.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. So I'm gonna take your team that's $800 million here in St. Louis, and I'm gonna move you to LA and instantly turn you into a $2 billion franchise overnight.
I knew absolutely. I knew in 2010 when Stan Kroenke took full ownership, and they voted Shad Khan down for actually purchasing the team.
Right.
As soon as Kroenke took full ownership in 2010, I knew they were going.
Right. So you're telling me you wouldn't take that deal? You're
Yeah,
the third.
absolutely.
So then why are we pissed? We're pissed because the NFL screwed us. It wasn't Kroenke, it was the NFL. It's business,
I'm pissed.
man. It's business.
I'm pissed because as a fan and speaking directly to, well, not Stan Kroenke because he was never in St. Louis.
Hold on, Al. I'm going to answer you in a minute.
Speaking to Kevin Dimoff, I was told that my Rams weren't going anywhere.
Of course
Speaking
they're going to tell
to
you that.
Les Snead, I was told my Rams weren't going anywhere.
Of course they're going to tell
I mean,
you that, man. Come on. They want you there.
You're
Just
right.
like they did at the
Exactly.
Raiders, what they're doing to the Raiders now. But Al Davis doesn't care. He told everybody, hey, I'm taking this team
Well,
to Vegas.
Mark Davis.
Well, whatever. Al started this before Mark did. Al's been talking about moving the Raiders for years. So,
Right,
so that's what I'm
well-
saying. These owners don't care about these teams, man. It's all about money. That's the difference between the XFL. Is Vince actually
They don't care.
cares. Vince is
They don't care about the teams or the fans.
right.
And
Exactly.
excuse me for saying this, you're sadly mistaken if you think Vince McMahon thinks any different than Roger Goodell or any NFL owner, because Vince McMahon is going to go where the money is. Vince McMahon, like, look at the AAF.
Hold on. See, again,
How long?
we've had this
How long did the
conversation.
AAF last?
That was because
How-
you had an owner who was an internet dude who wanted to make betting money and built an app on and took all of that money to build an app. That's why the AF left. That's why they folded. They were drawing ratings. They were getting about
and that's exactly
2 million views.
And that's exactly why Vince McMahon put a franchise in St. Louis, because he knows St. Louis has been a wrestling mecca for years and years, going all the way back to wrestling at the Chase.
On that one. If you're gonna start talking wrestling, I'll shut you down on that one too. Because first of all,
I'm not talking wrestling. I'm just saying Vince McMahon knows St. Louis.
Yeah, so that's why he chose St. Louis. That's why you're gonna have the championship game here. That's why you're gonna have the biggest fan attendance here and everything else. See, here's the thing: is in St. Louis, we get all pissed off and bent out of shape because somebody wants to bend us over and stick it to us, but we can never support somebody that wants to do something for our city. And that's where you're seeing a lot of these people. They're all screaming and yelling, not wanting to support it. You see what I'm saying?
Like I said, I'm looking into season 6. I'm thinking about season 6.
Just get them. They're only $50.
Just because I want to see football in St. Louis. I miss tailgating downtown.
So Arlington has a question for you and Sammy. They say that the joke is a league. He says, so why are you saying that it's a joke, Ben?
Saying what is a joke?
Hold on. I got another call. Hey, thank you for calling in. Thank you for tuning in. Please tune in next week. I got to take this one.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Al, go ahead. I knew you were going to fight with that dude, so I didn't want to put him on.
Okay, what's up? How's your night going?
Well, you just heard me. You got me on a dirty rant.
Yes. Now, let me tell you my side.
Did I make sense?
Yes, you did. You make total sense and everything else. Listen, I'm still upset the way how the Rams left St. Louis and everything else. I'm still upset, that how the Cardinals left, but that's our politics. That's our politicians' fault. They screwed that up in St. Louis and everything else with the Big Red and everything else.
Right.
But Stan Kroenke, he didn't want to stay in St. Louis.
No, because all of his businesses were on the West Coast.
Yeah,
Al, hold on 1 second, and I'll let you get to your point. Sam Sharp. So training camps, it's gonna be right after the draft. So they're talking like October. They're talking November, December is when their camps are gonna be, and they're basically going to be like all in one area to accommodate right now. That's the rumors. Don't know how true that is, but that's the rumor. All right, Al, go on.
Okay, listen. But the way how Stan Kroenke moved the Rams out of St. Louis, when he said St. Louis was a two-sport city.
Right.
That's what really pissed me off.
Right.
And that should piss off everybody in St. Louis, because now we got 4 sports right now. We have the hockey Blues, the Cardinals. We now got a Major League Soccer team, and we got a football team and everything else. And by the way, I have an article coming out in the next couple of days. You'll get the chance to read it on In the Zone.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to give compliments, to Dave Peacock, the guy who tried to save the Rams from leaving St. Louis.
And unfortunately, they'd lie to him. That's the thing. Exactly. That's the thing I have to say about that situation.
Yeah. Now, back to that song that I sent you guys on Facebook.
Oh, my God, Al,
that song,
You're killing me, Smalls.
Oh, come on. That was the most iconic songs in St. Louis sports. They used to play that song every year round and everything else. Even though it was the St. Louis Football Cardinals theme song, they still played it a lot. That was an iconic song. That's why.
Now look.
No. You gotta bring.
Hold on.
I like that idea.
Hold on. I'll give you some credit, Al. If they if they spruce it up, make it more modern, it would be cool.
Just making sure that song didn't have lyrics correct.
They can maybe make it modern and everything else. You don't need to use the band and everything else. You can maybe use a little bit of heavy metal music in there, rock music. You want to do that?
That would be cool.
Yeah, like modernize it a bit.
Right, that would be cool.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need to use the band and everything else. Just change it a little bit.
Right. All right.
Heavy metal music in there.
Right.
Go ahead.
Al, we were talking about some of the stuff down there at the show or the happy hour. What is it that what is it one of the things as a fan that you would like to see implemented for the BattleHawks and make it a tradition?
Here's what they need to do. They need to bring back all the great football players, in St. Louis in the past, from the football Cardinals and the Rams. They need to reach out to them. They also need to reach out to Bob Underwood, who started this St. Louis Cardinals memorabilia that he started on Facebook and everything else, and he has all these former Cardinal players. I believe it's Jim Hart.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They have these golf tournaments and everything else.
Yeah.
I like to see the president of the BattleHawks reach out to Jim Hart and all those St. Louis football Cardinals alums and St. Louis Rams alums, like people like Isaac Bruce and Aeneas Williams. They're still here in St. Louis.
Well, and look, here's what I'll tell you, Al, before I let you go, because we only got about 4 more minutes. Here's what I'm telling you. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see that.
More like kind of like a passing the torch type of thing.
Right.
That's kind of like I'm thinking, like the former Rams, the former Cardinals, they're there, and then kind of like give like maybe a new book or type of like a passing the torch. Like you get what I'm saying now?
Yes, I'm getting what I'm saying. This is going to be the 20th. This is the 20th anniversary. Season of the Rams winning their first Super Bowl here in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it'll be a great. It'll be a great moment here for St. Louis is when the XFL season kicks off in St. Louis. Bring all those 1999 Rams over at the Dome before kickoff and everything else. Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Orlando Pace. Right. Even bring the all football Cardinal players from Mel Gray, Jim Hart, Dan Dierdorf is still here, Jackie Smith and everything. Think about this: Jackie Smith, Roger Worley, Jim Hart. They a month ago when they were introducing the St. Louis being the 28th team in Major League Soccer, they were there present at the event.
Right. I got you.
And when the BattleHawks announced their name the following day, I didn't get the chance to go there. But were there any former Ram players or any former football Cardinals players there?
There actually was some at this last happy hour, and if you go to the St. Louis BattleHawks page, you can see. I want to say Jim Hart was there with Howard Balzer. There were some guys.
Good.
There were some guys there.
And also remember on the coaching staff, Oz Hakim is the wide receivers coach on the team.
Right. I'll tell everybody where they can find your article that's coming up.
Yeah, it should be posted up in the next couple of days on In the Zone. You can find it in there on Derek King is going to post it up for me. Shout out to him, by the way, and happy birthday to him, and happy birthday to you as well.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
buddy.
then. Have a good evening.
Yep, you too.
All right.
All right. Well, that was a fun, eventful show.
Yeah, wasn't perfect, but
right. Studio's getting pulled up. Arlington. Hey, the reason why Arlington couldn't join us is because his our thought. Shouts out to Arlington's wife. She got sick. So she wasn't feeling too well. This is the BattleHawk Live with myself, Dirty, and usually the A-Train. But tonight joined me was our correspondent, the one, the only,
Will Freeman,
and our new producer. You'll be seeing him at some of the stuff. You'll be seeing him, Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
Will be coming around. You'll be doing the video, so come up, say hi to him, talk to him. Seattle Dragons suck, by the way.
Apparently, according to one of the fan pages, apparently we're going to start a rivalry with Tampa, which I don't understand. Someone needs to explain that. Someone needs to explain that to me.
Right. LA Wildcats sucks. This is a joint production of One Universal Production and In the Zone Network. Make sure you check us out on Facebook at XFL STL. Check us out on YouTube at One Universal Productions. They can find us on In the Zone Network, an alliance to XFL. Right?
Yep.
Alliance to XFL.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get them all?
Did you say what? Did you say your own One Universal Production?
Yes, we did.
And yep, that's
it. And with that being said, we will see you guys next week. Will, 23 weeks.
23.
Do you realize that, right?
Yeah.
We're less than 100 days away.
Yep.
From kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
It should be fun. A lot of exciting news. I am Dirty. That is Will. We will see you guys next week.
See ya.
That's how you do it. Yeah, that's it.
How did that one?
Yep.
How did that one idiot play out saying the logo was?
Oh, dude, I started ripping them. I started going off on them.
Like plane is like I don't know what's plane with wings and a sword. Like there's going to be people that's just going to plane just to complain.
Right. This is Drew. You're going to be working with Drew a lot. Drew, this is Cameron. He's our new he was the guy I was telling you about that at happy hour, doing the post and video and all that stuff.
Most people I meet at happy hours are pretty awesome.
So he's going to be helping us do with the documentary, a lot of the filming, editing, and stuff like that. So we'll be working with him. That's Jim Harris. So he'll be down there. So this is Cameron. This is the new producer. He's the one that's going to help us do the documentary. And he's going to help us on here with the XFL and stuff like that. Doing more videos, so I have to get off the board.
Yeah. Divert some things from the recording to somebody else.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what
Did you tell him that the logo won the best logo out
Oh,
of the
dude, he
list?
was a moron. I ain't gonna sit there.
That Sammy dude that Arlington was talking to on the comments.
Yeah.
It's like saying that the X was gonna be like preseason. I don't think it's gonna be like preseason.
I don't think so either.
It's like we got a lot of football fans. Like I said, we're number one in season ticket sales, merchandise sales. It's gonna be a big crowd.